All right, we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Dip Catcher Radio, back again. Another amazing day in Maximus. But what else is new? Thank you all for being here. Second stream of the day. This morning, we discussed the community's perspective on the purpose and meaning of Maximus DAO, and that was pretty inspiring. We made this awesome graphic that shows the keywords that people included in their responses to that prompt of describe the purpose and meaning of Maximus DAO in your own words. And we announced the winner of the 1,000 Hex giveaway. So obviously we saw Hex, stake, but other things like purpose, freedom, community, small, savings, financial, liquidity, maximize, combining, little guy, bonus, liquid, benefit, DeFi, world, gas fee, like all the keywords. It was really cool to just kind of see how everyone, was describing it in their own words. Tonight, I'll be answering any questions you guys may have about Maximus team and the perpetuals. We have about just under 7 days left to mint. Deadline's coming up next Monday. And then later on, once we're done answering questions, I'll probably just be working on the Diamond Hand front-end contract, doing that live. So I know a lot of you like watching that happen. But first, let's check out the numbers. Let's see what's going on. All right, another big day for the pools. We have 207 million hex across the pools. Number one is Desi. We're less than 30 million hex away from maxing out the bigger pays better bonus, followed by Base with 38 million, Trio with 25 million, and Lucky with 23 million. Very surprising, the breakdown of these. You would have expected it would have gone from long to short, but no, it big on the tail end and big on the front end, which is actually really good. That makes for, I think, a really healthy hex economy, that there's competition across all of these different stake ranges. You see, as these get larger and they get more of the bigger pays better bonus, the APY starts creeping up. So the base stake is set to earn about 12.1% APY. Trio is set to earn about 16% APY, 23.81% for Lucky, and 30.36% from Desi. Those are big numbers. And if the timing of the APY gaining in Hex lines up with the Hex price going up, then it's like you achieved higher than that APY measured in dollars. So that can be pretty exciting. Whole lot of demand for team. 52.71 million team minted, and of that, 35 million is staked, 17.3 million is liquid. What did you guys think? Did you guys think that by now, 2 weeks of the mint, 2 weeks of the 3-week mint phase, do you think this would have been higher or lower? What do you guys think it would have been? And what do you guys think about the breakdown of the stake team to the liquid team? 10.54 million maxi is going to be burnt as a result, at least. Who knows how the last week plays out. And then 15.81 distributed in that 369 rebate. 26.36 going to the mystery box. What a mystery. Any shakeups here in the top minters? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so still, yesterday we had 7-figure minters. Now we have 8. Let's see, how many more do we get? How many 7-figure minters do we think we're gonna get? These people were close. This guy could have been. This person couldn't have. They don't have any maxi left over. This person could have been. This person way could have been. This person could have been. They could have been. They could have been. So that's pretty promising. A lot of maxi on the sidelines. Where we have 52 million maxi in the pool, or in the contract, not the pool. And then of all the people that minted, we just broke 1,600 unique minting addresses. In the addresses that minted, there's still 66 million maxi on the sideline. A lot of it comes from the Hedron deployer, but that's really promising, because that's, each person minting, they're not pushing the price up, but all this maxi on the sideline, those are people that now they have something to compare performance against. And who knows what happens as FOMO and regret may set in. So very exciting to see this breakdown. Very nice balance. If you exclude the Hedron deployer, which is kind of an anomaly here, because they're kind of in a different situation than just like the regular user. If you exclude them from there, we have about 45 million maxi on the sideline and 47 maxi minted. So it's actually very right down the middle, which is amazing. Exactly as the design was intended. And it's been pretty awesome. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. UFO says, Dipcatcher, it's been some weekend. Great to see you up and running. Oh, yeah. Can't stop. I don't want this mid-phase to end. I'm having such a great time just streaming every day, sometimes twice a day, just answering questions, connecting with people. I feel like we're injecting a lot of energy into Hex right at a time when it really needs it. Bryce says, win diamond hands. So target date is the 22nd. The audit should get back to me on the 22nd. And I just need to finish up these front ends, and then we'll get that going. Hex Love, hi bro. You're probably the most frequent viewer on the stream. Other than, I'd say Name is on here all the time. OX Will, Mr. E. Who else? There's others that I know are on here, but I'm just blanking on the names, screen names right now. But thanks for being here, man. He says, most amazing stream in crypto, changed my mind. I hope so. That really means a lot that you would say that, and I hope to continue to deliver that for you, man. Hex Token says, this has a rags to riches vibe. I've never seen his stream, actually. We were actually briefly on a stream the other day, but I was only on for like a couple minutes. But maybe that'd be cool to connect with him more. Nate Stakes, let's go. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Is Legacy in there? I didn't see much Legacy, actually, now that I think about it. Lucky got higher T-share, just realized that. Yeah, I mean, longer pays better is a serious thing. Everyone talks about bigger pays better, but bigger pays better is tiny. The max bigger pays better bonus is equal to a 1-year stake. So for base, it actually, because it's a little longer than a year, it's actually 369 days. The base longer pays better bonus is bigger than the maximum bigger pays better bonus. So bigger pays better is actually kind of small beans, to be honest. It accounts for a pretty small portion of the earnings. That's why no one complains that team gets half of it, because it's already tiny and it's way smaller than like bigger pays or than the gas fee savings. But yeah, I mean, you're right there. So Lucky has like 10% less hex than Trio, but it has, what would that be, like 7%, like almost 40% more T-shares, which makes sense because it's 110% longer. So that totally makes sense why that would be the case. It's got more T-shares than it's earning over a longer period. So for instance, when the Lucky stake ends, during that whole time, so Trio is locked in at this share rate, but in 3 years, all the hex in the Trio pool that's left over after people redeem, and then all the hex that people mint at the new rate, that gets rolled into another stake, and then it has to stake at that higher T-share rate. So meanwhile, from year 3 on, Lucky is still earning at the original T-share rate, and they got more T-shares from longer pays better bonus. So and that's what longer pays better means. Like longer stakes earn more than a series of shorter stakes. But although longer pays better, shorter pays sooner. And when you look at the seasonality of the price chart, like The hex price was up above 25 cents for really, about 2 or 3 months. And so all the people that are in max length stakes, they watch their paper gains go up and then come right back down. And I guarantee you a lot of those people wish that they had foregone the maxed out earnings and instead chosen to take delivery of their yield sooner. Sooner in some cases can pay better depending on the market timing. So I think that's probably why we're seeing so much demand for base, is because I think a lot of people are kind of traumatized by being fully staked. They kind of came in and they just kind of not fell into the trap, but just kind of listen to the narrative of oh, if you understand T-shares, you're going to max length stake everything on your own. So a lot of people would have all these tiny max length stakes. They saw the value go up and wishing they could sell, and then it just went right back down to where they started at maybe. And I bet a lot of those people wish that they had only done a year-long stake, gained 10% on your hex and been able to sell into that pump like that. That could have been a life changer for a lot of people. So I think we're going to see a lot of the attitude around hex staking kind of changing. And that's why we wanted to include these shorter pools, because shorter stakes are absolutely an amazing strategy. There's no longer pays better, but shorter pays sooner. And, it's a competitive world out here. And sometimes you gotta have the coins in your possession. Do you foresee massive buy-up spikes when a perpetual is due within that year or months? I mean, not anything other than just normal staking behavior, because at the end of the day, it's everyone who's joining these pools could have just otherwise staked on their own. So it's just normal staking. Although it's just kind of bundled into one, the market generally prices that stuff in. So maybe there's some type of response, but in general, it's just as if these people just staked on their own, and the average stake length across all of them was what this was, So it's not, I wouldn't say that it's going to cause too much of a ripple, but who knows, it could. Lico Dash says, Lucky, the sleeping giant. I agree. Lucky's my favorite. I think it's got the best name. Because it's got a name that you can aspire to be, right? Base, it's a noun. Trio, it's a noun. Lucky is an adverb, right? No, luckily is an adverb. Lucky is an adjective. And then Deci is a descriptor, or it's short for Decimus. So of all these ones, it's got the most positive name. Lucky, you want to be lucky. And having the smallest pool, they're just going to be less lucky for sale. And if people want that stake, then perhaps the premium, maybe the premium that everyone thinks is going to happen with Deci is going to happen with Lucky. Everyone's piling into Deci because they saw what happened to Maxi, and they're like, oh, it's going to happen again. But perhaps since that's, since generally markets disagree with the consensus, perhaps Lucky being the kind of wild card, the non-consensus thing, perhaps that's the one that has the best premium, at least in the first couple of weeks. The person says team high, pool is low. Yeah, I mean, we still got a week left, but also, I mean, it kind of speaks to the risk appetite of people in Hex right now. Everyone wants to reclaim those, everyone wants to 10x something. And what that means is that people think that there's going to be higher performance in team, higher price performance in team, because of the supply and demand dynamics and the stake rewards and who knows what else, and so people are willing to tolerate the higher risk to get into team because they think the team is going to outperform the pools. So that's really interesting. And it kind of speaks to the times right now in Hexago, where, one class of user is still up massively, the early Hexicans, they're still up massively, no way around it. They're up massively. But the class of 2021 is down pretty big, and they want to reclaim those losses. And so they're willing to take on more and more risk. That's why we saw, there's been all this stuff that people are speculating in, and there's so much appetite even for the ETH POW, all these forks. These people who are down big in Hex, they want to reclaim those gains. And so I think that's why we're seeing higher, just such high participation in team, is because People want that thing that can go up 100,000x. And right now, that's the market telling us that more people think that team is going to go up in value than hex. So, it's kind of an interesting phenomena there that we're seeing play out in front of us. Team also massive buy on 3rd, 6th, and 9th year. Yeah, so I guess what that means is that in years 2, 5, and 8 is probably when we see a lot of market responding to that, because people will be buying to lock in for that year, and the market will be pricing in that they think that a lot of the coins are going to be staked in those years. I'm thinking about this, year 6, 7, 9, and 10. If you think about it, even 5, include 5. So 5 is that's a year leading up to the second rebate. 6 is a rebate year, a base year, and a trio year, the second trio. So who knows how big trio is going to be in 3 years, right? Because there's going to be another minting in trio. So trio is going to earn, say it's earning 16% per year. So say trio gains by 48%. So in 3 years, one trio may be worth 1.48 hex. And then say, it's in 3 years. So by 3 years from now, think about how much hex that is currently staked by people that want to be in these pools, but they just have these stakes go on. There's going to be a lot more liquid hex available to join the pools. Right now, it's actually a time of low demand on hex, and also a lot of hex has actually been encumbered in things like Acosa and just other stuff. And so, in 3 years from now, that trio stake could be massive. And so so then that year 6, it could have a massive earnings year just from trio. Base will have 6 years of loading up. So base could be massive as well too, because base will get bigger every year by 12%. And then there's a new onboarding opportunity as more liquid hex becomes available. So as these stake pools grow and as team members start to organize their onboarding efforts, we could have a massive payout year just from the stakes alone ending in year 6. And then on top of that, 10% of the total maxi that's minted into team is redistributed in that year as well. So leading up to year 6 and year 5, we could see craziness in the markets leading up to that year 6 payout. Year 6 is going to be a big payout. And then the year right after that is the first Lucky end. And so Lucky's earning at a pretty high rate. Even though it's the smallest pool, it's earning at a pretty high rate, and it's got 7 years of yield that's going to be, where base, it's it pays out once a year. Lucky is basically 7 years of earnings at a pretty high rate paid to team at once. So that's another high year of earnings, followed by year 8, which is the year leading up to year 9, in which, we have the third trio stake. So by then, trio, if it earns 48% per period, and we go, so 1.48 times 1.48. So by then, each trio is going to be worth 2.19. And so that, the pool is just going to be larger. And that'll be the third one. So that'll have given the team members 2 separate, or 3 separate, because we have this one now, and then the first time, and then the second time. So there'll have been, in addition to the current one now, 2 more onboarding events for the trio stake. So that could be huge in year 9. That'll be ending. And then also in year 9, 15% of the total maxi that's minted in the team is redistributed there. And so that's year 9. And then followed by year 10, where we have Desi, the largest stake pool of the 4, earning max yield for 10 years. And that payout to team is happening in 1 year. So we've got this between years 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, true craziness could happen just as a result, because as these longer stakes start coming due, those are just by definition larger payouts. We got the rebates, what that may do. Price may be going crazy. When price is going crazy, like we indicated in that, like we indicated here, like we indicated here, as price goes crazy, either in bear markets or in bull markets, that's probably when we see the most early end staking. And early end staking reduces the team supply. And so as we see like these big swings in the market, we could see huge decrease in the team supply. And as that happens, that means one, there's less team available for sale. So it's just, can go even crazier. And two, there's less team that's available to compete as a staker. So that's gonna be wild. I think, the first couple of years is kind of the warm up years. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that's going to be insane. And then maybe it cools off between like, years like 11, 12, 13, because by then it's like there's no more the maxi rebate unless there's other maxi rewards that that you just don't know about yet. So there's, the maxi rebate will be done by then. The first Deci stake will be over. Year 11 will be kind of, just a base stake. Year 12 will be a, the fourth trio payout. And then, so it does kind of, so like, I'd say the first 10 years is kind of like going to be like a big wave. But who knows what other pools may exist? Who knows what other types of opportunities that the team members may figure out a way how to execute on. But just from these alone, just the stakes that we have scheduled already and the maxi rebate, that's gonna be a wild 5 years. Like who knows what's gonna happen? But we'll be here, and I hope you will be too. Space Case says, "What's up, you crazy Hexicans? What's up, crazy Space Case?" Ben says, "When will we be able to stake in the diamond hands? Is there a limit? And after that limit, you can't stake diamond hands anymore?" Yeah, so the deadline is going to be when the base stake and all the stakes start. So you have about 4 days to do it if we can roll it out on the 22nd. If the audit comes back and we have to fix something, then we probably will just change something in the launch and add a little bit more of a buffer. But right now the goal is to launch it as soon as it's ready on the 22nd. And then I'll give people about 4 days to do their staking. So once you reach that limit, then you just have to hold on to it. And it's not the worst, not the end of the world. Team's second year will be accumulation phase. Yeah, I mean, definitely, preparing that first big payout. If I have team and base, I mean, I'll make approximately 12% from team, 12% from base. I mean, that's why distribution. No, I mean the team it's based on the total the total value of its earnings divided by the number of team staked. So that number, that's the base stake, and so it'll probably be lower. I mean, by definition, it is lower because it's getting paid out of the hex and the hedron from Bigger Pays Better and the hedron, and so it probably won't be 12% in that first year. Like the first year is going to be the smallest one. I think people are probably, the distribution is the way it is because I think just a lot of people want to be part of this team, and everyone knows that the earnings in that first year are going to be, lower than, that'll be the lowest ever probably as the stakes grow. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's just a lot of demand. A lot of people want to be on a Maximus DAO team. Just that simple. And that's really empowering. And the thing is that everyone who's in it has skin in the game. Big difference. But like, everyone likes an airdrop. Everyone loves a free airdrop, but it kind of can turn into a liability because if your largest holders are people that got it for free, then, they may have value there and then they may buy later, because it is a very strong marketing technique. But I kind of like how our systems are entirely user opt-in, and then every single user has equal skin in the game. Like no one has any advantage. No one gets more coins based on when they got in. No one's getting any for free. All 1-to-1 mint rate, equal skin in the game. Because it's just like it's a partnership. We are all doing this together, and so I think that the 1-to-1 minting just kind of creates a more cohesive unit that's here for the long run. And I think that people just wanted to be a part of that with team. So Nate says, are people underestimating the perpetuals in your opinion? I don't think people touch on the fact you can roll over the perpetual endlessly if you don't need the capital or are in a bear. It's gold. Oh yeah. I mean, definitely a lot of people underestimating the perpetuals. You know, and the wealth transfer's got to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? And people that choose to stake on their own instead of joining these perpetuals, they're basically just giving you their money because they're going to experience worse performance. And as a result, you're going to experience best performance. And so it's basically like as if they just gave you the money. So, the wealth transfer's got to come from somewhere. And at least it's from people that made that choice. Space Case says you always have the best music. Thank you. There's a website that I download royalty-free music from. But I always have to remember to turn the volume down. I hope it's not too loud. The default is very loud, so I have to turn it down to 10%. Wall-to-wall TV says you can set and forget the perpetuals forever until you want to sell. Yep. You don't have to do anything. And you always roll forward to the next one. UFO says question. Team gets half on the bigger pays better from all the pools. Maxi. Burn Maxi. All about. No, so team gets the half the bigger pays better only on the perpetuals. It doesn't get anything from Maxi because Maxi was built before team. So Maxi does not do any of that. Team gets Maxi from the rebate, but that's just, it's like rather than the mystery box just keeping all the Maxi, the mystery box gives back half the Maxi by means of the burn, where they're boosting everyone's redemption rate and through that rebate. So the Maxi rewards to team, those come from just, those come just from the mystery box. The mystery box, instead of just keeping it all, they wanted to, or whatever it is, wanted to, just incentivize the people that participated. Worth it to take an ES penalty of 30% of interest and hope the Destiny premium is about the same? I mean, yeah, if follow your gut, make sure that you're calculating that penalty right. And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna take that risk, maybe do it lucky. But honestly, your choice. There's only one way to find out, and you got to follow your gut. I mean, if you look at the Maxi chart, it hit 30% within a couple of days. But also, what are you going to sell into that and then watch it go to 2-1? So it is a tough decision. It depends on how long your stake is. Yeah, that's a tough decision. I didn't early end stake some of mine that I wish I did when Maxi happened, and I regret it. But also, your situation may be different. So you look within and tell you look within, make a decision, and let us know what you're doing. Nate Stakes says I went in heaviest on Lucky 777s. The Vegas to me couldn't resist. Hell yeah, dude. Love me some Lucky. Nate Stakes, you got this. Poor Man Investing, stake ending tomorrow. Awesome. Let us know what the gas fee was and how many days it was. JD, the perpetual success is inevitable. I agree. Because it's just staking Hex, but better. It's staking Hex, but you're saving on fees and earning more yield. What more could you want? It's literally exactly what Richard built the bigger pays better for. He even said it. We'll have to play that video. We might just play that video. Maybe when I go tuck my wife in, maybe while I'll just play that before I come back. I'll play the video where he kind of talks about this concept. I want more team, but I'm leaning more Maxi now due to more mintage. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the natural thing, right? Because the more team that gets minted, the more potential sell opportunities there are. But also who knows what can happen. It's truly difficult, but follow your gut. You know the right answer. Only you know the right answer for your own situation. And so please just always follow your gut. I try to lay out all the facts, but you just got to follow your gut. But it's hard. I think a lot of people thought that too, but then kind of the FOMO sets in. Eventually, gladiators will be the next generation billionaires. I hope so, because it's awesome how we really selected such an awesome, great group of people, where like the people that are naturally attracted to this are people that look for solutions. They don't just care about themselves, they care about others. They want to build community. They want to make stuff. They want to push the boundaries. They want to push things forward. They want to change the world. And that's the exact group of people you want to be on a team with. And so I do think, I think there's something special within all of us. And you prove it by having been a part of this Maximus experience. So I agree. Maybe trillionaires. A wild SJ appears. Local legend. Glad to have you. Thanks for the explanation. Give me new insight. Help me to decide where to go heavy before minting ends. Yeah. I mean, you kind of can't go wrong because you can always, trade amongst them later, so. Good vibes. That's right. Your 210 will be nice. Oh, yeah. So in your 210, that will be a time where we will have 4 of these overlapping: base, trio, lucky, and desi. It's kind of, any year number that is divisible by the years long that these stakes are, that's where you have overlap, like 3, 6, 21, 30, 70, 42? So 210. So 210 will be in all 4. But I must caveat that, so base is 369 days. Trio is 1,111 days. Lucky is 2,555, and Desi is 3,696. So there may actually be some kind of phasing out, like especially around. I did the math on it. It's like most apparent around like year 30 when it starts to kind of phase away from that perfect divisibility. So what that means is that we could see that 4-year overlap maybe before year 210. We'll have to do the math. Once we have time, we'll look at exactly when those, in the first like 30 years, they line up as expected. But as the days just kind of offset, because we did some little putzing on the days, like our year is 369 days for base, and trio is 1111, so 1111 purely just because all ones is cool, and so that's like 3.04 years. 2,555 was, that's 7 exactly, but 2,555 was almost 2,777, which I actually regret not doing, but that would have made it closer to 8 years. And so I didn't know, but looking back, I honestly should have just done that. That would have been awesome, because it would have landed in that 7th year on the first one, but it would have landed on like the 8th year on the second one. So I don't know. I actually do regret making it 2,555 instead of 2,777. That would have been perfect for lucky. And then base is 3,696. The DeFi ecosystem evolving around Hex is amazing. Great project. Yeah, I agree. We're really trying to push the financial utility of Hex into the future, and solving individual user problems at the same time. Like Maximus, it benefits whales, but it also mainly benefits the small guys. And most other things really just kind of benefit whales. So I think that that what we're doing has a lot of impact potential. Is Diamond Hands a one-time thing as Maxi? I got confused on that. No, so Diamond Hands, it goes with each of the perpetual pools. So for instance, just think of base and trio. So say you minted base and you minted trio. So once we publish that contract, hopefully on the 22nd, and you want to participate, you can choose how much of your base and how much of your trio to lock up in the base Diamond Hands contract or the trio Diamond Hand contract. So they're all separate. There's a contract for each coin. And then when you're locked in the contract, what you're saying is you're committing to holding that token until the end of the stake period. And so when you do that, those coins are now held in the Diamond Hands contract, and then you can redeem them at any time. But if you redeem them before the stake ends, then you experience the penalty. So we'll publish the fine. We came up with a good penalty solution. Still thinking about that a little bit, but the penalties are larger for the shorter stakes and smaller for the longer stakes. And so we will, but you have to join before the stake starts. And so if you understand the team staking schedule, where it's like you lock in for a year and you have to stake for that year, and then you have to renew into the next year, that's exactly how it works, but it's for the length of each pool. So, for Trio, you're committing to holding Trio for 3 years. And at any time during the current Trio stake, you can Diamond Hand lock up into the next one. And so that's how that works. So it's not a one-time thing, but you have to lock in before the stake starts. Poor Man Investing says, not sure what the gas will be, but 425 days is stake length. So we'll tell you exactly what let's see. Let's go to hexnoob.com/endstate calculator. And you said the stake was 425 days. And let's see what the Etherscan, what that says the gas price is going to be. Okay, so say it's 6 GUA, so whatever the price is right now. So that will be 0.006187 times, what's the ETH price right now? Like 1,200. Okay, dude, that's not gonna be bad at all. $7 down the stake. That's perfect. Hope this gas price stays low. But if that gas price was higher, say it was 60 GUA, then that's like a $70 end stake. So that's a big difference there. So that's awesome. Perfect timing. You timed it right. Well, what sucks is okay, so your stake was 425 days. Hex.cash. If you did 425 days, that means you probably earned like 12% yield or something. And so let's look at the Hex, just the USDC. So your stake was 425 days ago. Um, 300, 400. Okay, 421, 2, 3, 425 days. So here, let's reverse this so that we can see the percent. So your 425-day stake, it is down about 75%. So although you gained like 12% interest, you're still down. And so it's lucky that your stake ended here. But what this means is that you probably would have been better off rather than staking, because for the stake, it's like you earned, say, 12% more yield, more hex. So say you start with like 100,000 hex. Now you have 112,000 hex. But that 112,000 hex is now worth like $3,000. Whereas you could have experienced 200% gain here and sold it. And so that's kind of that whole premise of like longer pays better, but shorter pays sooner. But at least you're lucky that the gas fee is not prohibitive, because we're in such a deep bear market right now. But that's kind of the trade-off. But hey, you know what? We're still in this game, and we're in it for the long run. So glad you have a stake ending just in time to mint. Thanks. Good evening to you all. Thanks, and good evening to you and everyone here and future hearing this. Thank you. What is more similar to security, team or perpetuals? I mean, none of them. They're like general partnerships. So it's not like that. It's a general partnership is what it's most similar to. So it's not similar to either to security. What I like about you guys is you keep it as simple as possible. So many people overthink and miss the mark. Oh yeah, I mean, I think what that comes from is that Golki and I have been working on like very early stage startups for years, and so when you're in like that environment where like you you have a lot of constraints, you can turn those into superpowers by like just keeping things simple. And I think that that's kind of our benefit is that we definitely kind of fall into like the bootstrap startup kind of culture, and it's not like we work for like big tech companies where like resources aren't a constraint. You can have some like crazy, create like where you can just like expand the scope. Like our competitive advantage is we reduce the scope. We're like, okay, even for instance with the Diamond Hands thing, like this was like an idea to implement as part of the native contract, but then we were like, no, like let's cut it out. We'll see if we'll launch it, and we'll see if we really want to do this, and we'll see if people actually want it after the fact, and we can always add it later. So we definitely try to keep things simple, and we try to reduce the scope. Like I think that's where other people go wrong is that they have all these ideas and they just want to like, oh, we'll add this and this NFT marketplace and DeFi thing and this and this and this, and it's just like, okay, no wonder why you can't ship your product because you're just like adding all kinds of shit to it. So I think that are like coming from like that world of like early stage tech startups, it's really helped us like hone in on the things that matter and build things in a way that like you can get momentum and you just keep going, and that's I think a big competitive advantage that we have. Poor man investing, you should be able to set the gas to 5 GUA and just let it sit overnight, and that would only cost you about 0.005 ETH. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We all have to do the normal perpetuals first, and at launch, we have 4 days to add it to the Diamond Hands perpetual. Did I get that right? I understood all the other stuff. Have my team. Yeah, so you can get your perpetuals right now, and then once we launch the Diamond Hand contract, then you can lock in your perpetual pool tokens into the Diamond Hand contract. So, so that's how that works. Then you'll have 4 days to do it. We'll stake them here soon and yearly. Yep, that's right. Poor man says, I'm usually up late at night, so I catch the best rates of the day usually anyways. That's also a good strategy. What an amazing ride this has been. I mean, like, this is a beautiful chart. Like, if you really think about it, like when you compare it to other things, like what else could we compare it to? So let's say TradingView. What's another thing that went up a lot and then didn't? Maybe like Phantom. Okay, let's look at a chart that shows more trading history. Maybe like probably Binance will have. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, I mean, they're kind of in a similar thing, but it's like they shaved off. They're down 92%, and that happened in a course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months, and it basically went straight down. Hex, let's see if we can pull up a monthly chart. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like but ours, it's like it kind of has gone in these waves where we had these like retraces, and so it shows that there was like a lot as it was retracing and starting the bear market. There was more demand in our markets, whereas like their stuff basically just went straight down. And so I think compared to other things, it's like it's like we took the elevator up and the stairs down, and they kind of took the stairs up and the elevator down. And so it's interesting to compare us to other DeFi stuff. Perfect. That was the answer I was looking for. Got me confused for a moment when you mentioned it 10 minutes ago. Sorry for the dumb question. Oh, it's all good. That's a great question. I'm a mental mechanical guy when it comes to understanding things. Thanks, Issue. Thanks, Peppy. See what's going on Twitter. OG Souza says, what do you think of this marketing move? Launching Pulse Chain now with Ethereum POS fork with biggest liquidity and values of all the copies with support of RHN community. We smash other two forks and get their customers too. People go where the money is. I think it's an awesome idea. That's kind of what I was suggesting too, is it like, because I mean, I really don't know what the devs on Pulse Chain are actually working on. I imagine it has to be with the things that they're changing, right? Like, so that means the 3-second block frequency instead of the Ethereum, which is like 12 seconds or so, and the block size, and then something with like the validator rotation. So I think that what they should just do is just launch a direct Ethereum fork, implement the supply adjustment, with like the sacrifices, and then like that freemium onboarding where one ETH gets like however many pulse, and then get Pulse X going, because Pulse X is the secret sauce behind it all, and that's way more important than the scaling stuff. It's like we don't need the capacity right now. So if that's the thing that's holding it up, because I do think like and this is different than how I felt even last week before all these forks happened. My opinion had generally been that that they should take as much time as they need, because it doesn't, there's no rush at all. But now that there's kind of this demand here, that's kind of what I suggested here, is that this may have opened Pandora's box. How long until a full system state Ethereum proof of stake fork? And that's what I think, like, because the POW ones, it's like it makes sense that there are these proof of work forks as the network is moving from proof of work to proof of stake. But that is a competitive aspect compared to Pulse Chain. I think we can mitigate that, but it is competition. But now that there's kind of this blueprint for this system state fork, which hadn't really happened before until now, I think that it's probably going to be within a couple weeks that we see a proof of stake Ethereum fork with some change made, and it could be successful. And so I think there is risk of that dilution happening before then. But also on the other hand, maybe that's just like more awareness for Pulse Chain. So, it's, I think that if it's the scalability things that they're working on that's delaying it, if I was on that team, I would be pushing for, hey, let's roll this out and then fork that in later. It's like they've already talked about forking it in the future. So I think they would add, I think that they could benefit from rolling it out kind of while this is a fresh topic, and then emerge from there. Because like, what do we need faster blocks for? The blocks are gonna be empty. Like, just look at, it's not like the proof of work forks are full. It's not like Ethereum is full right now. Ethereum can get full very quickly, but like, I don't think that it needs that for probably decades. So Honestly, we probably don't need the scalability increases until all these single max length stakes are ending and they fill up the blocks. Like that's probably when we need the scaling increase. I don't think we even need it till then. Because if like the blocks are too full and there's barely any fee revenue, then who's going to operate the network? Like, what if those validators just like say, okay, this is kind of a waste of time? So I say they should fork it, decrease the block size, make fees more expensive, but have it be proof of stake. That would be that'd be what I would say. If they pulled me in and were like, Dipcatcher, tell us what do you think? What do we got to do here? I'd be like, fork it as is, implement the sacrifice balances, implement the system state copy, roll out Pulse X, double the fees. That'd be my suggestion. Lots of yawning. You need this launch end. Oh yeah, I do. I am very tired. But you gotta keep pushing. All of us. Need an app that will alert us when our stakes end. Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe I'll build that. That wouldn't be so hard. I already have like for instance. So here, let's just grab. Just to show an example. Let's just grab like a random person from here. Let's see if they have stakes. So like this person, for instance. Yeah, let's just grab them. I mean, this person has a lot of shit, so they probably have stakes. So if we copy theirs, take it to the future earning calculator, paste in the address, and let's read this out. Yep. Okay. So this person, they have a stake ending in 75 days, 12 million principal. Started on day 83. So day 83 of Hex, the price was so would that be like month 3? Oh my God. So this random person we just pulled from our list, they're up 180x on their Hex principal. And during the time, they have earned, what are the earnings? So the total value of the stake, including the earnings, is 29 million Hex. So they earned like, what would that be? Like 17 million Hex yield. So this is a massive stake that ends in 75 days. And this person is our 8th largest minter. And well, I guess what I was showing is that I have all this stuff set up where I could add a button here that says schedule alert, and then it would send you an email when it ends. But that's pretty amazing. This one person we randomly just pulled. They just have so much Hex. That's crazy. And that person doesn't care about the bear market. It's like they doubled their bag. So from their perspective, they more than doubled the bag. So like 29 over 12 is like almost 3x. 2.4. So from their perspective, the Hex price is 2.4 times 0.03. So 0.031 times. So from their perspective, the Hex price is 0.749. So that user has experienced 400x on their Hex. So to them, selling at 3 cents, everyone's like, "Oh, why are you selling low?" To them, that's not low at all. They're up 400x in 2 years. Like, so there's a lot of those addresses out there, and hopefully they, what do they do with that money? They're a big holder of team. That user, let's see, they put half of their maxi into team, and they have a bunch of 29 million hex coming out. Too bad they weren't in the pools. But yeah, so I guess to answer your question, I pull in all the information necessary to add a reminder. So maybe I'll do that after all this stuff's done. It's a good idea. With pulse chain, I think they're gonna roll it out on December 32nd. So much game theory to work on now. Anyway, I still got the 10% liquid that I didn't in Maxi. Oh yeah, don't we all? Where's the loud intro music? Danny Boy says, I've been having issues getting dApp to connect to MetaMask. Okay, so do not reply to scammers. If you say this, there are people that are watching that'll try to slide in your DMs saying they're posing as me, acting like they're going to help you. So, I mean, just make sure that everyone else is getting it done. I don't know what browser are you on? What device are you on? That is kind of weird. Sometimes, like on my old laptop, I used to have a problem connecting on MetaMask because just like my memory was so flooded that like the browser just like would take forever to load up MetaMask, so I couldn't just open MetaMask. So I don't know. Make sure you're connected to Ethereum mainnet. Make sure that your MetaMask is unlocked. But it should just work. I mean, everyone else, like we're seeing, new Destiny rolling in right there, we just had over 1 million coming in since we refreshed last. So like, people are getting it done. So, but if you need help, ask for help. Well, don't ask for help and accept help in private. Only accept help in public. But just like refresh. I don't know, man. Just keep trying. You can get it done. Good evening, chaps. What's up, Mike Mac? What day is that stake ending? So 75 days from now. So that would be in 2 months. So October, November. So probably like early December is when that stake ends. Is it too late to get Hex and Destiny? No, yeah, about 7 days left. Win Duo, Cinco, and Ocho. That is a mystery. We thought we have so many cool names. Should I drop some names that we've thought of? Oh, Exil says, don't put me on blast. Sorry to dox your account, bro. Duo, Cinco, Ocho. I'll tell you some that didn't make the cut. Sixer and Niner. It's funny. An idea for a 12-year stake name was Dodeca. It's like dodecahedron. That's like something with 12 sides. But that didn't materialize. Less is more, I think. Less is more. I'm glad we didn't do more. I'll continue to try different things, even MM. Okay, don't ask anyone for MM wallet support. Just if you really can't figure it out, then on a different device, download MetaMask and then recover from. I mean, is your MetaMask working for other stuff? Don't go to support. You're gonna get scammed. Like literally, don't. Oh God, I hope you didn't already get scammed. Don't ask for help. Only ask help like in group chat settings, and don't click any links. Oh God, now I'm worried. If it's not working, just shift to another device and enter your recovery phrase. I hope you have that. but don't enter it into a website. Only when you're setting up MetaMask as if you're recovering your thing. Please. Oh God, I'm worried now. Thanks for the help. Hope you get it done. Sub penny hex feels likely. But people will be showing stakes like that one. Yeah, I mean, that was just a random one that we selected right there. Who knows what else people have? Sadu, that could be too. Yeah, I mean, who cares? This shit sucks. You stack for pulse. You asking me or asking the other guy? Yeah, I definitely did. And I'm glad that I didn't ape in too heavily, because my thinking was, okay, everyone thinks it's just going to pump. I was hearing people, when I started hearing people like, oh my God, I can't wait to be rich. I can't wait to cash out 10,000x. Like everyone, thousands and thousands and thousands of people all saying that. I was like, okay, wait a minute. The market likes to tell the group of everyone who shares the same rosy-eyed opinion. The market loves to tell those people they're wrong. And so I was quite conservative on my, but not even quite conservative, just like a normal risk management, 2% of total assets on things that are risky, unproven, especially if they like just things that don't exist yet. You can increase that things if they exist, but it doesn't exist. It's vaporware until it launches, and so even though it's richer and that boosts the credibility and reduces risk, it's still there's all types of stuff could go wrong, and we're seeing it play out right now. So I'm very happy with, even though I had serious FOMO, and I did more into Pulse X because I thought I underdid it in Pulse, but now looking back, I'm like, whew, I did the perfect amount, and I'm totally satisfied. And the longer it takes, the more stakes that we have to end to be able to scale in, because a lot of people that over sacrificed. They thought that Hex would never go below 25 cents. They're struggling. They need liquid something. And as soon as it launches, there could be serious sell-off. So I'm actually very, very pleased with my allocation, although I did not feel that way for months at a time. Like right afterwards, I was like, God damn it, I wish I put more in. But then now looking back, I'm like, thank God I did put more in. Okay, bro, I'm a season X and Y isn't up support, but I'm that. I block it. I mean, what's wrong with it? Like, why isn't it working? Like, what does it say? Also doing all this on a condom wallet? What? Dude, I'm Catholic. I don't believe in condom wallet. Agreed. Too many people overhyped right now. Going to be away to call 1 dozen 100x per day. Anybody claim weight for minting? No. When I looked at it, I was like, okay, what's this chain link thing? And I was like, whatever, I don't really care. It means to stay wallet, not okay. Oh, that's a good way to describe it. Okay, nice. Good strategy. $207 million hex. 22,000 T-shares. $10.54 million maxi burn. What's pretty wild is that Hedron Deployer, if you remember when the Watsa thing happened, here, let's look at it. Let's copy this and let's take it to Zapperfy. So this is the Watsa. So So when we look at their history, so they had I don't see it. Oh, that's weird. It doesn't show there. That. So that was August 28th. See if we can find, when did the burn happen? So they had burnt 1 million maxi. It doesn't show there. I wonder why. Here, do this. So these are all the people that were minting it. Minting. It was early on. Yeah, so trying to find it. Well, they burnt 1 million maxi. And so if they had already burnt 1 million, and then now what is 0.2 of so now their burn is set to, or their minting in the team is set to burn another 1.1 million maxi. That's pretty incredible. You know, they have accounted for 2 million maxis worth of burn. So in total, you know, they represent like almost 20% of the maxi burn. So shout out to the hedge fund deployer for their continued benevolence and generosity. Pleasure to be your teammate. That's your stake in it. No way. I wish. Need 500 million hex and pools more so I can win Steph's 5555 max giveaway. Yeah, that was cool. Steph's a big fan of the pools, and I really like him. He's one of the people that go back a long time that I really respect, and I really like him a lot. After I click join pool, I get the Web 3 connect, then a disclaimer. Then I click yes to connected app. Then error pops up saying you need to be connected to an Ethereum browser like Okay, so are you in the browser with your MetaMask? Because that shows up when your browser signals to the app that it is not a Ethereum enabled browser. Are you what browser? Are you in MetaMask browser in your app? I mean, you can claim weight and sell if you want more perps team at a different price, or more perps team. It's got a decent price if you don't want it. Yeah, I mean, I just haven't. I mean, you know, it's another thing. So maybe I'll take a second look at that, see if it's worth claiming. Yes, browser. That's weird because like I've done a lot on mobile. And are you on Android? That's so weird. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the share button. You all are here with me. And imagine if all your friends were here too. Think about how much fun we'd be having together. Basically, have come to the realization to turn all liquid hex into a split between all the pools. An awesome strategy. The G way is the only way. The best thing, what is she saying? In my opinion, you can do for Hex is onboard into Pulse Chain. Pulse is easier for people to understand. Hex and IQ test. That's why I adore everyone in the community, because if new users grow faith through Pulse Chain, they realize Arch is a genius than Hex. Flex protocols on it, but you know that liquidity pools being calculated helps tokens if you understand how to implement them. Please share your faster armor tech because I greatly appreciate the knowledge to implement it. That's funny. Get some rest and come again. Huh? What do you guys think of the Maximus Minter bot? Oh my god, 309,000 deci. That's what I love about this bot, is that you just like scroll through it and you just see so much. 30,000 deci minted, 5,000 base, 11,000 base, 6,300 base, 50,000 deci, 25,000 team, 49,000 deci, 37,000 deci, 3,800 team, 700 team, 2,000 trio, 2,000 base, 50k deci, 10k lucky. There we go. 10,000 trio, 10,000 base, 554 team, 100,000 team, 1,500 trio, 2,000 team, 1,100 base, 50,000 deci, 3,000 team, 70,000 team, 12,000 deci, 1,000 deci, 1,000 lucky, 55,000 deci, 1,000 trio, 1,000 base, 5561, 1396 base, 3333 trio, 3,000 deci, 50,000 base, 184,000 deci, 3760 trio, 14,891 trio, 46,000 deci, 1,400 deci, 4321 base, nice number there, 20,000 base, 30,000 trio, 20,000 lucky, 20,000 deci, 50,000 trio, 190, 50,000 team, 75,000 deci, 15,000 deci, 15,000 lucky, 19,000 base. Are these all the same guy? These ones are. That's cool. They know what's going on. Oh, and they're another 15,000. 8,889 deci. 3,000 team, 80,000 trio, 124,000 base. Let's find a big one. Next big one. We'll stop. 50,000 lucky, 180,000 deci, 807 team, 20,000 team. Oh wow, look at that. Probably the same guy. Yep. You always see these little patterns. 33333 trio and 77777 lucky. That's badass. 100,000 deci, 20,000 deci, 100,000 team, 300,000 base, 25,000 team, 15,000 team, 200,000 lucky, 24K base, 1,000 trio, 24,000 team. Let's find a big one, then we'll big one, like 7-figure. 125,000 base, 50,000 lucky, 33,000 team, 100,000 base, 200,000 base. $1 million deci 9 hours ago. Look at that. It's incredible, you guys. Yes, Android. Yeah, Android. I don't have an Android, so I actually don't have a really good way to test on Android. Shit. Maybe just transfer to like set up a hot wallet on a device that you know works, and then transfer it. I guess if you're minting the perpetuals and just do it that way. But yeah, I don't know. Hope we can figure it out. Great stream, amazing content. Thank you, Danny boy. Thanks for all the support. Hex community is unlike anything I've ever come across. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Very, very powerful. Do you know any of the devs who are on Pulse Chain? No, I do not. Don't know their names or anything. What are your thoughts on the importance of the fixer bot on Pulse Chain getting values right versus what we experienced on ePow and eFair both being vastly devalued from mainnet? Just confusing to me. Well, so that is not for... it's not to like restore the prices. What he calls a price fixer bot, which is I view it more as like a supply scaling bot, and that's because like there's the freemium, like it where 1 ETH gets 10,000 pulse or whatever that is, and so because all the liquidity pools that have ETH on one side and the other ones, instantly the price is like off. And so rather than just leaving that, actually what's happening is that the OA, like the Pulse Chain version of the OA, before the chain launches, actually mints Pulse buys the coin up, mints Pulse until they can basically drain the liquidity pool of all of the token. And then now the liquidity pool has has like very few of the you can't get rid of all of them, but it has very few of whatever ERC20 it is, and it has a bunch of Pulse Chain, bunch of PLS. And so the liquidity providers that provide on pools that have ETH and some other token, they end up with Pulse instead of their tokens, and it may not be very much. So and then apparently all those ERC20 tokens are then put into PulseX liquidity pools, and then they trade there. So it's basically a way for the OA to take possession of those coins that are currently in liquidity pools on Ethereum, and then migrate the liquidity over to PulseX, where the liquidity provider now just has PLS and they don't have their tokens anymore. So that's more what it is. And it's, so it doesn't really have to do with like setting the prices to be accurate. It's more to just like make sure that the liquidity stays there, and just like that's their advantage of being the one who's like setting the initial state of the system, is that they can do things like before the network's even active, they can, and because they can basically print as many PLS as they want until launch, they can print as many PLS as they need to drain those liquidity pools of the token, and then move those tokens to a liquidity pool that they control in PLSX. So that's more what it is instead of that. Jose Cuervo says bot is a great update on Twitter feed. Yeah, it definitely is. Get ready for all the FOMO this weekend for minting team in the perps. I agree. It's going to happen. Base clips. Bullseye, baby. One Maximus, 2.27 hex. Almost 4 years of hex yield priced in now. That's incredible. No rush. I have 6 days. Thanks, friends. Yeah, of course. I forgot to mention the Diamond Hand contract are designed as base true lucky or Desi auto stake or auto renew itself as well, as I add them in that contract. Thanks. Yeah, so those coins it's just like normal, like those your coins, if you hold them in the contract, they're just like normal base trio lucky Desi tokens. But in order to stay in the Diamond Hand contract from stake to stake, you have to renew it. So it's just like team staking. Like team staking, it's literally the same thing. It's literally the Diamond Hand thing is literally a clone of the team staking system. So that's kind of the sequence where you have to lock in for each additional period. Hexbug says that's the best explanation of the fixer bot I've ever heard. Nice one. Someone clip that. Thank you. Yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, that's sick. Rest in paradise to whoever ends up with the smallest half of these. Correct. All right, here, let's watch this video about. So let's look at YouTube. Who's your favorite UFC fighter? Um, I like Sugar Sean O'Malley. I like Sean Strickland. I like Kamzat. Who else? You know who my favorite fighter ever is?
Fighters ever. A distinction he shares with fellow 90s legend Arturo Gatti. All who may realize, wait a minute, I can take a punch and rally back and win. And Al likes it better when I do that. He heard the roar of the crowd. That's really what changed him. No question. That is to say, he acquired the extraordinary mixture of talent, charisma, and recklessness that jumped through the screen to snatch the viewer's heart. A fierce combination puncher who backed up his suicidal instincts with athleticism, and he punctuated each miraculous victory with his trademark backflip. In today's video, we are not focusing on the inner demons he dealt with outside the ring, but the legacy he left behind inside the ring. MMA TV Productions presents Johnny My Vida Loca Tapia. Tapia.
Me and my grandma used to watch Johnny Tapia.
When he met Abraham Garcia. Garcia failed to test a young Tapia whatsoever, lasting a mere 30 seconds before a major hook came crashing on Garcia's head.
Tenemos el placer, la satisfacción de tener con nosotros a Michael Carvajal, uno comenzando esta pelea estelar aquí en Boxeo Mundial más representativo, amigos, directamente desde Phoenix,
He's just trying to get him out of there. Down he goes. From the very beginning, the two fighters.
Beautiful double left hook by Tapia, and this one's all.
He took the WBO super flyweight title from Henry Martinez in his hometown of Albuquerque. From the very beginning, the two fighters were evenly matched.
Here's the hook by Tapia and the right. Very tight. They've each had a good round in this contest, and they have raised their intensity level up to the championship. He now has a beat on Martinez for the first time with that hook. Oh my, big right by Tapia hurts Martinez. You're trying to drop your hands and you get your hands. Damn it. This is a close one. Martinez punctuates his part of it with a good right hand. At some point in these fights, technique gives way to sheer determination. And we're coming close to that point. I think we may be there. Good jab by Tapia. It goes well away here in round 8. Well, he can figure that anything can happen in a title fight. Nothing is etched in stone. Adrenaline can carry him, but he must get on the inside until it does place. And Johnny Tapia gets to start wild again.
Look at how he just goes.
And this crowd makes Johnny Tapia.
How he plays to the crowd.
Is the adrenaline flowing in Johnny Tapia? I guess so. My goodness. They are going to the WTA Super Flyweight Championship. Johnny Tapia, the black trunk, is now widening his gap recently against Henry Martinez. And he is
Look how relentless he is.
Tapia asserted his power in the later rounds, scoring an 8-count knockdown with a left-right combination to the head in the 11th round.
He just barely beats the count. It is over. They had to do that. I'm very excited. Got to give a lot of thanks. To Henry's one of the top fighters out there. My manager, my grandpa, my grandma, my wife, and Melly. You made it all in Albuquerque, my brother. We made it, baby. It's been a long way.
Yeah, so that's probably my favorite. Johnny Tapia is my favorite combat sports athlete ever. But he died like, I don't know, 10 years ago. I like people that are just like real athletic and just like relentless, I guess. Oh, but the video I was going to show you was.
Johnny Tapia was one of the most unique.
So here, you guys watch this. I'm gonna.
I mean, look, if someone wants to go ahead and build something cool, go build an encapsulated hex stake that it operates on layer 2.
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
And then people can get in and get out and trade their layer 2 hex stakes as shares of a larger stake. And they'll have increased complexity, but it'll be cheaper, right? So like that stuff can exist.
Will there be like a secondary market? Will people create?
Sure.
Are you guys going to create that? Do you think
Nope.
other people will?
I'm not doing anything. I'm doing nothing. Don't expect anything from me. Remember the Howey test?
Yeah.
Okay. I would assume that like any other useful thing, free markets will exist. We already know that it's going to list on Ether Delta and Fork Delta on day one because anyone can add it there. That's the power of being in the right ecosystem of distributed finance. You can't build on top of Bitcoin. You can build on top of Ethereum, and then everything plugs in with you, and everyone can build on top of you. If someone wants to wrap a hex contract and make staked tokens able to trade, they can do that. If someone wants to add margin to hex contracts and let you like borrow extra hex to lock up more, they could do that. If someone wants to allow you to use hex as collateral for a loan, we can do that all trustlessly, all with smart contracts, all with atomic swaps, all in the same network, no oracles. Awesome. Real distributed finance. If you try and build on Bitcoin, you're building on AOL. If you build on Ethereum currently, you're building on the actual internet of distributed finance. It's awesome. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, I was referring to like the secondary market stuff that we were talking about earlier. Where
sure, yeah. If people want to, so I'll give an example for a contract someone can make. In our system, to prevent people from spamming the blockchain with extra transactions, we reward you for consolidating your stake into a larger stake. It's called bigger pays better. And they do this in the normal world in banks with a jumbo CD. So if you have a jumbo CD, it pays about 10% more interest. And if you stake for longer, you make about 20% more interest per an extra year. That's the math as it stands today. We copied those things and we put them in our system. If you stake longer, you get about 20% more interest per year in the form of shares in our system. And if you stake bigger, you can get up to about 10% more shares. Now, because bigger pays better, someone could create a contract that maxes out its bigger pays better bonus and then sublets other little guys to jump in underneath him, and they share that increased yield, right? So that could exist. That's something that could exist on top, and it could be totally decentralized with a smart contract. It doesn't need to be centralized, but if someone wants to do it centralized, they could. Like a lot of exchanges do that now because there's other coins that you can stake, and those staking coins don't have the time lockup system that we have. They don't emulate CDs. They don't value time. We value time. We monetize time. So I would imagine other exchanges, if other centralized exchanges are very likely to become stakers in the system if they hold a pool of people's funds, I think. If right now, so like people message and they're like, I don't understand the 15-year stake thing. Okay. Yeah, I get it. You're pleb. You don't understand long-term thinking. Fine. It's okay. A guy like that still might want to benefit from being a member of a pool that is taking advantage of longer stakes. So at some point, an efficient market is just going to figure out that, if you have an audited contract it might be worth the trade to have a larger attack surface that you try and buy down the risk with audits in order to get 3 times the interest. Because right now, if you want to get a 60% interest rate, you need to have a 15-year stake. Well, if someone does a layer 2 and then makes a 15-year stake and then sells shares in it and they become tradable, you're getting 15-year stake profit, but you're also able to get in and out whenever you want. But the price that you're paying for that is the increased attack surface, which you can buy down that price with audits. You could wrap hex stakes on layer 1 and sell shares in them on layer 2. So that's what Grayscale does. Grayscale wraps Bitcoin in their corporate structure bullshit and then sells shares of it on the OTC market. That's what they do. And so you could do the same thing with Hex, where you take a layer 1 stake at 5,555 days, which is maximum yield you can get in Hex terms. And then you don't have to restake it when it expires. Like, you could max out the yield at a 10-year stake, but then when it expires, you've got to restake it at a shittier rate with a higher share price, because the share price only goes up. So if you care about long-term gains, a 5,555 day, a Quattro Cinco stake is the best yield you can get long-term in Hex terms. And then sell shares in that. And then you could do that on layer 2. You could do that on Cardano. You could do it on EOS. You could do it on all the different networks.
So that's what Richard's take is on, even though we've never spoken directly about it, he has shouted us out, like he did the other day during his stream where he beamed into Pulse Chain Con. But yeah, that's honestly why there's kind of no opposition to the stake pooling thing. Incredible video of RH predicting future use of Hex and Maxi. Yeah. All right, guys, it is 10:30. I'm going to try to work on the dashboard, very focused, for an hour and a half. I'm going to do live coding till midnight. I'll try to look at the chat for questions and stuff, but I really want to get this thing done. See if anyone's on Twitter saying anything important. I mean, that's not that bad. Okay, so I guess something that we need to do now is let's go ahead and I'm going to write a script to deploy these for us. So So we already got bass. Let's do trio. So right now what we're doing is we are just deploying the test net Diamond Hands contracts.
Okay, let's get these. We know that we need the stake reward distribution ABI. Yeah, epow dash. Okay, activate.
Mega Art says you're amazing. Great work. Thank you, Mega.
Thorsten says, yesterday I onboarded a guy that was a no-coiner last year at a 200,000 base. He's in the process of onboarding more, looking for more pools. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. You're a good friend. History says Thorsten awesome. 12% APY earned without counterparty risk is a great benefit. If markets are still down in the year, they can just leave it longer and let it restake to keep earning more. What's up? What's up, amigos? Late night crypto live stream. 2:30 a.m. here. Hell yeah. It's getting late. All right, you guys, I'm hitting a wall here. Made a lot of progress today. I'll wake up tomorrow and then we'll keep working on the staking interface. We should be good to go. So, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. It's bedtime. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Adios.